Hi, my name's Harpreet and I'm a secondary school science teacher. I decided to get into teaching to work in an environment where I was interacting with students who may or may not have things going on outside of just their learning in that classroom and who may need an extra bit of support and maybe an extra ear to help them along with any problems that they may be facing. A lot of young people are coming into the classroom with more than just learning on their minds. They're dealing with a whole host of other issues, and often they just need that one person to sit up and listen and to give them a bit of advice and help them on their way. Being a teacher, having first-hand experience, and not only just that, but speaking to other teachers in the profession, I know that there are a lot of issues that students in this day and age are facing. Social media brings a lot of pressure in for our students. They feel that it's a tool that can be used in a positive way, but also can be used in a very negative way. A lot of students are feeling that a lot of their bullying comes via alternate methods now, maybe not face-to-face, but even via social media. So there is a lot that students are now having to deal with that maybe was never once a pressure for students. Other issues could be things happening domestically within their households, their own kind of self-exploration that they're trying to discover and figure out who they are. On top of that, the pressure to do well and to achieve what they think they should be achieving. So there are a lot of things weighing in on each of our students that we as teachers have to be compassionate to and also be very aware of and help them through. The issue that I'm going to talk about today is bullying, and is one that should not be underestimated by anybody, whether you're a teacher, a parent, a carer, or the student. It is a very, very overwhelming issue for a lot of people and is something that needs a lot of care and a lot of attention. It is something that students are finding is an increasing problem. Like I said, social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Messenger, these are all tools now where students are finding themselves being put in situations that they may not necessarily have been put in before due to groups and whatnot, and they might feel excluded or they may be a part of a group. But bullying can come and find its way through in any of these social media platforms, and I think we therefore need to be a bit more aware of how we can tackle these issues and how we can prevent students from feeling very isolated and very alone in these situations. Signs and indications of someone who may be undergoing or maybe dealing with bullying would be that the person or the student or anyone in that situation is withdrawing themselves, pulling away, isolating themselves, feeling very sort of alone and showing those symptoms that they're almost pushing people away. And often those around them will not understand that there's actually an underlying issue. So if you do see a student exhibiting that kind of behavior, you really want to try and sit them down, not in a full kind of surrounding where there's lots of people. Take them aside and sit down and say, I'm concerned. I've noticed a few of these traits that you're exhibiting. Is everything okay? And sometimes that's all it takes for them to kind of break down and explain that actually this is going on or that's going on. You know, it's not something that's easy for them to talk about, so come through with a lot of compassion and care when you do ask about these things, and look for those symptoms and those sort of signs where they're withdrawing, they're isolating, they seem very low in their self-esteem, they don't want to be around large groups of people, they're always isolating themselves. These are signs that they're dealing with something and that something needs to be addressed. Advice to students or anyone, you know, because it doesn't just happen with students in school, it happens with adults in, you know, working life as well. Bullies can come across in any age group. My advice, and the advice I give to my students especially, is to speak up and explain and tell someone how you are feeling. The quicker you almost address the problem, the more likely it is to resolve. The more you try and hide away from it, the less likely it is to go away. It will not just go away, because often in these cases, bullies are dealing with something themselves. They may be dealing with domestic violence, or they may be dealing with unhealed emotions of their own, and often they need help. So actually bringing the person who's doing the bullying into the room, showing them what they're doing to someone else, sometimes is all the realization that it really takes. Because through social media, it's a hidden platform and you can't really see what you're doing. You might be involved in a group and it might be all fun and games. You don't realize what you're doing to someone else. So getting the two people face to face is often like the intervention that's needed in order to restore the kind of harmony and show that what they're doing is very unfair. The second thing would be for the person to work through their emotions, because through that bullying they would have had a lot of emotions pop up, and that time is when they need to kind of look within and heal themselves from the trauma of what they've had to endure, not to block it, but to address it and address the emotions and then heal from those emotions. I think that's the most important thing. And if you don't feel comfortable coming to a teacher, or you feel too scared or embarrassed, find someone around you, a parent, a carer, a friend, a guardian, anything. There's a lot of platforms out there now as well that want to help people or help those that are going through something like this. So there's a lot of help out there. Social media has got a very positive side of it, where there's a lot of people putting their help out there. So I think find something that works for you, and make sure that you are realizing that it's not your fault, and that it is something that you can heal from and that you can move forward from. Biggest advice in this scenario is for the person who is dealing with this to find the power within them to confront the problem, because only when you empower yourself and realize that actually you have it within yourself to deal with this and to tackle this and to move forward from this, will you begin to manifest what is really best for you. And in this situation, that is to be the healthiest, happiest version of yourself. There is a lot of help out there. There are a lot of people that do care. So you are never alone. Those bullies, they feel very alone. That is why they are doing this. So it's almost, you know, you can almost feel for them. Try and put yourself in their situation and think they must be in a bad place to be inflicting this hurt on someone else. It's not right, it's not healthy what they're doing, but they must be hurting. Something is not right there either. So don't take this as a personal dig to you. You just find your power, speak up, confront the problem. Don't think about anything else. You're never ever alone. There are a lot of people that are there behind you to support you. Just find the power within. And it's definitely something, I think every third, fourth person that you speak to will say they've had an encounter with bullying. I know during my secondary school experience as a student, it was something I dealt with a lot. And it's something that I'm very sensitive to for those students around me now. So those that have been through it can rise from it and can be stronger and more compassionate. So take those tools, become stronger and compassionate, and help others get through it. I think that's the most important. Okay, the last bit of advice would be to those that are bullying others. It is not there to preach or to belittle you, because the label bully seems quite strong, but actually if you are making someone feel insecure or inferior and making somebody else's life hard on the daily, then unfortunately that term may be what applies to yourself. So in that situation, I would ask you to stop, because you do not realize the catastrophic damage that you may be doing to somebody else's self just by saying the things that you do, just by mocking them, just by doing what you do to you. It might be via social media, so you don't see it. But believe me, I have sat with students who have been on the receiving end of this, and you are creating a lot of damage and a lot of trauma for them, because at that point in their life, it might be the most significant thing that they're going through, what you are putting them through. So in closing, I would like to say, we should be trying to spread more compassion and care and love. There is already enough hatred around us, and if we don't contribute to adding love, then we're just as guilty as those people that are not adding anything positive. So that would be my closing statement. Thank you for watching this video. I hope what we've talked about has helped you in some way. There are a few contact links below if you feel that you need to reach out to speak to someone. We are there to help. Like I said, there's a lot of help out there. Please do not hesitate to seek the help that you may need. And lastly, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much.